So the life cycle of a real estate file at Carson Law is a bit unique. We do things a bit different at Carson Law. We work in a team-based system and approach as opposed to the file just coming in, being assigned and designated and hold to one clerk. We work all in a team system so that you, as the client, have more points of contact, so you feel more involved and more entwined in the process as it goes along. We understand that in the traditional processing of a real estate transaction, many clients get frustrated from the law firm's perspective on lack of communication or lack of knowledge of where their file is. Lots of times what happens in the traditional model, the deal gets referred by the realtor or the client to the lawyer says, yep, got it. And then for like weeks you don't hear anything about anything. Your deal starts to come closer and closer to closing, and then you just get a call out of nowhere from the lawyer's office to say, hey, come in for your appointment, we need to sign all the documents. And the deal closes and everything is fine. But the only issue is leading up to that signing appointment and then the actual closing date, the client becomes very uneasy, very stressed, very concerned about what is happening with this very important, very large transaction. So we developed a team-based approach, system-based. Some people feel as though it's like a conveyor belt approach, which might make it more impersonal, but it's actually designed to be the exact opposite. And in practice, I've found that usually people say they have too many points of contact, as a source of constructive criticism. So the bottom line is what happens with your file. To give you an example, the realtor or you would provide that file to us, the agreement of purchase and sale. It goes into our file opening team. Our file opening team, depending on the closing date, will place it in chronological order with other closing dates so that we do everything in a queued basis. The file is opened by the two file opening assistants, Hillary or Annika. You get an email which very detailed, in a very detailed way, lays out what's required from you from a file processing perspective: ID form, retainer agreement, and then there's a particular information sheet which is designed specifically for us to receive and collect from you all of the essential information that we need to know about you and the transaction so we can process it. So we don't need to bother you back and forth asking questions that we could just do all in one shot. That's not to say we don't want to hear from you, but we do respect that everybody's busy and we want to make sure that we're dealing with things in a very systemized, organized way. Once you get that email from the file opening team, we give you about 48 business hours, and then our next team member, who is Lisa, she would reach out to you as a customer service and law clerk assistant on the real estate side to then follow up on any items that we haven't received from you. Plus, she'll give you a bit more information on additional items that we would need from you to process your file. So for real estate, we commonly need information about insurance for your home, property tax bills, contacts for your mortgage, whether you're getting a mortgage put on a purchase or doing a discharge of a mortgage on a sale. Once Lisa works with you on collecting and explaining all that information, she'll also work on setting an appointment for you. We do our appointments typically a couple business days prior to your closing dates. And then we have a couple people behind the scenes, our conveyancer working with me, the lawyer, to review the title search. The conveyancer will contact you to review the title search ahead of time so you're aware of what the title search disclosed, if anything. Then we have a couple people who are law clerks and assistants working with the banks and insurance brokers to make sure we get proper real estate mortgage instructions. They do all the processing back and forth with the mortgage companies to make sure we have payouts and funding in place for your closing dates. And then coordinating all of this with the lawyer involved in the file is a real estate manager. So at any point in time, you'd be able to contact any person on the real estate team, but you can also always contact our real estate manager and always contact the lawyer involved in supervising your file. So that's our approach. It's team-based, It's designed to be more client-centric, more client-friendly, so that you can get information quickly and easily from our office on the process of your file. Thank you, and take care.